example, is international media biased against Israel?
There's no simple answer. I would say a generalization, I would say no. I would say there are, Israel is superimposed. There are hundreds of foreign correspondents that are stationed here permanently.
But you spend a lot of time trying to find all these little mistakes in headlines, and it's so much effort.
Because I believe it's important. What I have seen, and this is my experience, suggests that the journalists that are here tend to be top league, major league, people that are either been places or going places. Extremely intelligent. Most of them are not biased against Israel. Most of them like being here, and I would say they try and cover it as professionally as possible. Of course, this trade, when you are against the tweet clock, you are always against it. So there are going to be mistakes.
But Israelis tend to frame those as like anti-Semitism or anti-Israel.
The biggest problem is, what I've seen is beyond, there is anti-Semitism. We can't ignore that. But I would say when you look at the way the media is, headlines need to be, now it's 280 characters long with an image that is binding for editors in newsrooms. They get it wrong time and time again. I would say, from my experience, when I've spoken to journalists that their headline is wrong, they need to correct it, they've done it every single time.
Okay. And Gideon, one of the arguments is that there's disproportionate focus on this conflict compared to other conflicts or atrocities that are happening, sometimes even very close to us. For example, Syria, 100,000 people dead, and papers aren't covering it as much as they cover what's happening, on a certain street in Hebron.
This is true, but that's the price of a state which pretends to be part of the free world. Syria is not. And Israel is part of the West and claims that it is part of the West and gains a lot of benefits of being part of the so-called free world. And this has also a price. Yeah, the world will be more critical about you.
So they're holding Israel to higher standards.
Absolutely. Israel is holding itself for higher standards.
I have no problem. The only thing is that I wish it to be accurate and in context. As Voltaire said, I detest what you write, but I would give my life for you to continue to write it. And I think that is the most important thing. And that's how I saw my job.